Welcome again to yet another edition of the League of the Genuine, the only show on the planet dealing with the issue of fakes, dealing with the issues of counterfeits. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate you viewing us. We've got a lot of following and feedback from the last video that was shot in the Uganda Cancer Institute. I have met people who are saying they need to have more and more of that. Yeah, but we are still continuing our conversation with counterfeits in relation to cancer. And we did not expect, but we have found that there is a lot of conversation, not just in the hospitals, but even outside the hospitals, when you are dealing with the issue of managing and treating cancer. Today, we happen to be in a very special place. This is a home where there is care that is given to many of those who do not have a home when they have come to the Uganda Cancer Institute for treatment. Can you imagine? You have to get the treatment on a regular basis, but many people, many Ugandans cannot afford the cost of transport to and from the Cancer Institute. That's why in some of the episodes you have seen several people are actually sleeping in the sheds on the verandas at the Institute. But today we have a very exciting guest. We have, I'll call him a young man because he's below 50 years. Mr. Brian Walusimbi is the Executive Director of Bless a Child Foundation. Brian, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you
to
for
the show. It's very exciting to see that we still have some good people in the country. Many people at your age are looking for opportunities to go for greener pastures, to make that quick kill, to own this, to own that, to have the mansions. But Brian, you are here running a home. This is a home that you've established to do wonders here. Can you just tell the viewers, who is Brian? What inspired you to start a Bless a Child Foundation?
Thank you, Fred. And a lot of what I am going to talk about is actually can be shared in a video, in a small video that shares our story.
So you have a video?
Yes, we do have a video
that you have recorded.
That shares a bit of our journey, where we have come from, all about us, and how far we have reached. So
I
suggest
you can
share that.
Yes, yeah. I think I'll ask our producer here.
It's just about 3 minutes.
I think it's important that we actually have a small segment playing out that video. This video will make you feel human if you're not human, because I think there are, like I have said, some great people out there who are doing something great here. So let's watch this video.
Hi, my name is Brian Walusimbi and I am a clown. In 2002, I started my clowning business, doing parties all over Kampala, Uganda, moving from house to house, entertaining children with clowns, face painting, puppet shows. And at the end of every year, I used to collect money and donate it to different charities in need. In 2007, I was invited to the Uganda Cancer Institute to do a charity party for children suffering from cancer. I wasn't interested because I didn't know anybody that had cancer. Even the thought of a child having cancer didn't make any sense. But the director of the Cancer Institute told me, why don't you just come in for a tour, have a look around, if you want to do it, you do it. When I got there, the floors were filled with children with tumors coming out of the eyes, mouth, with children, adults, men and women, sharing one small ward where they were receiving treatment. I saw the need and the pain that was in that place. And it's out of that I decided to do what I called a Smile Again party. Because it was the one time where the kids would not focus on their pain and disease, but be just like normal kids and enjoy themselves. So I set up this party in the cancer ward, where we had 250 children that were there for that party. I asked all my clients to donate clothes, food, and we set on a party with clowns, face painting, puppet shows, and all the entertainment. We also had the African Children's Choir, one of the best choirs in Uganda, that performed for the kids on that day. At the end of the party, some of my friends said, I want to pay for this child, that child. By the time we were done, we had 10 children fully paid for. So every place I went to do a party, I would talk about what I'm doing at the hospital, and people generously gave clothes, treatment, any kind of support that they could. In 2009, we noticed that we were raising a lot of money for chemotherapy, but the kids were dying more of malaria because they were sleeping on verandas. Others were dying more of toxicity from the medicine because they didn't have enough food and nutrition to support the medication they were receiving. Others, you'd pay for 6 or 12 cycles of chemo and they could only make it for 2 because they didn't have enough transport to get them from the villages into the hospital where they could receive treatment. That's when I started thinking that what about if I could find a place close to the hospital where the kids could find a warm bed, meals. In March of 2010, we opened up our home. The home provides meals, accommodation for a child and their caregiver or family member. We also provide school so that kids do not miss out on school. We have play therapy, we have counselors that are there at the home supporting the kids. We also support subsidized medical support, and all of these services are provided free of charge. Since we started, we have seen some amazing changes, success stories in the lives of kids. We have seen children beat cancer and live longer lives. Kids like Irene, that's how Irene looked like when she came to us. Irene went through surgery and support, and this is Irene right now, cancer-free, back in the village, doing really well. Other kids like Nicholas. Yes, Nicholas had this huge, massive tumor the first time we saw him. And Nicholas, with his great attitude, managed to go through surgery, and that is Nicholas right now, cancer-free, back in the village, back in school, really well. Kids like Mary Mambo. Mary Mambo's picture is a little bit disturbing, but that's how Mary looked when she first came to us, with always a cloth around her mouth, covering, in so much pain she could hardly eat or drink. And this is Mary now. Tremendous difference. And since we've started, we've taken care of over 1,800 children that have been supported. Children that have walked through our doors with absolutely nothing and been given a chance to fight. We have kept hope alive. We have another home in Gulu, northern part of Uganda, supporting Lacho Hospital and Gulu Referral Hospital, providing accommodation for all the children that have come from all over the northern part of Uganda to seek treatment. This would never have been possible without the generous support of our friends and partners. If you're out there and you're wondering how you can help, there are 3 ways you can help. You can donate through our website, online. You can volunteer. We're constantly in need of volunteers. You can also fundraise. Make Blessed Child Foundation your charity of choice. Advocate for children suffering from cancer in Uganda. We want to say thank you so much, and may God richly bless you.
That is awesome, Brian. This is a journey that you began in 2007.
Yeah.
And what motivated you to do this?
Yes.
In 2007, you must have been, how old were you?
Yes. In 2007, I think I was about 27 years. Yeah.
Why would a 27-year-old graduate, nice-looking man like you go into this kind of project? This is done by old retired people.
I can say God tricked me into it because I never saw it coming. I was invited to the Uganda Cancer Institute, as the video has shared, to just do a charity party. I'm a clown. I entertain kids.
You are a clown.
Yes, I
you are Father
entertain
Christmas,
kids.
Santa.
Father Christmas, Santa, all the above, you know. So I always felt like I wanted to give back, but I was wondering what's the best way I could give back. And that's why in my clowning business, I would always look for opportunities to do
Just
charity
pause there.
parties.
This is the most serious clown that I have seen on planet Earth. I don't think a clown can do this kind of work, but go on.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up getting to the Uganda Cancer Institute. Dr. Rem invited me, said, why don't you come in, have a look, see if you want to do it, then you do the party. And when I got there, I was amazed. Right now, we look at the new Cancer Institute, the changes. But in 2007, it was so different. It was a small space with kids, adults. all put in there. Verandas all filled, everyone looking for a space where they could just put their child as their child was going through treatment. I had been to Mulago many times, but I had never seen that side of Mulago. And I felt like this was it. I had found my calling. This was something that I wanted to do. I never thought that it would grow to where we are right now. By the way, that video was done almost 4 years back. So much has happened right now. It's over 5,000 children that we have supported.
Wow, 5,000?
5,000.
Since the video?
Since the video. Right now we have 4 homes. One in Kampala, 2 in Kampala, Mbarara and Gulu.
By the way, this home is at plot 140, Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, Makerere, Chikoni. So this is in Kampala. This is the first home?
Yes, it's in Kampala. And still in Chikoni, just down the road from right here, there's another home, way bigger than this, much nicer than this. So we're excited that we are opening up spaces that are much bigger. In Barra, we took up a former guest house. Back in the day, it used to be the biggest guest house in Barra. It was called Andrews Inn. It's on Ontario Road. Yes, so we took all of Andrews Inn, and that's now our new home for the kids that are suffering from cancer, that are receiving treatment at Mbarara Hospital.
So what's the concept here? This is a home, and you are talking about Cancer Institute here. So what's the relationship between the Cancer Institute and this home?
So what this home does, this is a home away from home for children suffering from cancer who have traveled from their villages right into the city center to receive treatment. So what ends up happening is that a lot of people end up giving up because of the costs around treatment. Despite Cancer Institute having medication, despite the government funding treatment, but it's just so costly because there are meals, there's accommodation. Cancer treatment is not like malaria. You get treatment once and get out. But you have all these continuous strips where you get different cycles of treatment. And a lot of people just end up giving up. Actually, the survey says that there are 2 biggest killers of children suffering from cancer. One is toxicity from the medicine. That's the chemotherapy and all of that happens. Then abandonment of treatment, where people start treatment, but because the costs are so expensive, they end up just giving up and walking away. So that began my journey. At the beginning, I was just trying to figure out where can I fit in, how can I help? Can I help everybody? I discovered I couldn't help everybody. My biggest niche since I was a clown was children. So I chose children. And then later on I discovered as I was raising money for treatment for the kids and the support they needed, that many of them needed just a place to stay. So I started looking around for a place, and I found this place in Makerere Apollo Kagwa Road. And
so was this your house? Are you renting this property?
This space is leased. So we got a lease of 40 years on this space. And it didn't look like this at all. It was a rundown hostel. The front was a garage, junkyard. But we managed to get all the 2 properties, and we started working on them. And over time, it's starting to now look more like a home.
So Brian, you must be a rich man. I mean, you go out of your way to help whoever needs help. The Uganda Cancer Institute has announced that at least 600 cases of cancer in children are reported every year, okay, at the institute. 600. This facility can probably not even accommodate 50.
Yeah.
So where do you get the funding? And how many children do you have in your homes, or have you had since you began?
Now, Fred, let me add something to the statistics you have just given. The 600 are actually new.
Those
cancer.
are new,
Those
not
are
existing.
New, not existing. So now add on the existing ones over the years. So those are newly diagnosed patients, the 600. So, which means that even if we set up 30 more facilities right now all across Uganda, we cannot accommodate all the kids that are going through cancer treatment.
So how many,
So
first of
this
all,
just
how many
needs
do
a
you
little
hold,
bit.
or how many have you held? How many kids have gone through your
Through our homes, it's over 5,000 that we have hosted.
5,000 kids.
But that has been over a span of 10 years. Over a span of 10 years. And this home alone, we don't only host a child, we host a child and their parent, because cancer treatment, it's a long time, so you need the families to be fully involved. So the parent comes and stays here with their child as they're going through treatment. This home can comfortably accommodate about 50 kids with their
About
parents.
50.
That's about 100 people. Barara, it's much bigger, so that one can accommodate about 120. The second home we have down the road can accommodate also about 120. Gulu is much smaller, it can accommodate about 60 people. So all put together, each and every year, we accommodate about 200 to 300 people that walk through our doors.
At any one time.
At one
And
time.
what do you offer in the home? Do you just lay the bed for them and they go to sleep? Or you provide sustenance, food, medicine, transport to Cancer Institute? What do you offer?
Yes, actually, as long as it's a child between the age of 0 to 15, and by 0, the youngest we've had here has been 3 months old.
0 to 15.
0 to 15, yes. We'll do anything possible in our power to support. We provide meals, 5 meals a day. We have a chef in all our homes that prepares the meals and provides all the meals. We provide a bed for the child and the caregiver. We provide subsidized treatment. That means whatever is needed added to their chemo, we'll provide that. We provide transport back and forth from the villages, but also transport from here, any of our homes, to the hospital. We provide education, homeschool. So we have teachers right here because kids are away from school for long periods of time. So we have teachers here that help to teach the kids so they don't miss out on their education. We have play therapists, we have yoga
So
teachers.
you provide
we
for food, accommodation, education, transport,
psychosocial support.
clothing.
Yes.
Wow.
Everything from soap.
So Brian,
sanitary towels for the parents.
are you an Illuminati or something? Where do you get the money from?
Wow, that's a good question, Fred. We have seen so much love, and so much love from Ugandans and people in this country.
Ugandans are funding this.
Yes. For a long time, until about 3 years back, slightly more than 3 years back, we are 100% locally funded.
Wow.
You know,
Ugandans out there,
Ugandans are so kind.
a big up to you for Ugandans
yes.
actually doing this.
Yes, Ugandans support it. And I feel that right now where charity is moving to, I believe that we as Ugandans have enough to support and meet our own needs. We can take care of our needs if we choose.
See, anybody seeing that you have a facility like this imagines that probably you are collecting thousands of dollars from abroad to support this, but that you sustain it from internal
people
sources.
that walk in. And when I talk about Ugandans, I'm not only talking about the corporate companies, but I'm more talking about the individuals. People come in. All around us we have garages. People will come in even with just a kilo, and they call this the hospital. And they say, tulese kilo ya sukari mu ddwaliro. And these are just guys from the garage. And you'll have people that bring in food, people that bring their kids here to do their birthdays. So we have seen a lot of love. We do fundraising events where, like, we were part of the Chokosa Food Festival organized by Shell and Vivo Energy. That happens annually. Unfortunately, because of COVID, it couldn't happen. But that also raised a lot of support. Events like Barclays Blessed Child fundraising dinner. Now it's ABSA, which we ran for 9 years. Yes, for 9 years in a row. And that was a massive, huge event. That ABSA, the Barclays would raise that money, and then it was matched. It was matched by Barclays UK, whatever was raised. That helped us a lot. So many other companies, Rock Telecom, even URA comes through and does CSR activities, and so many other companies.
Plus many individuals.
Yes, and
do you get the support from from a particular section of society, from a particular religious inclination, or do you get support from everyone?
We get support from all walks of life, the rich, the poor, and not only people out there, but also the parents that we have supported. Some of the parents that we have supported go back home, and when they're coming, they bring us fresh foods because they're coming back home. So usually when we have parents that are coming back, they come back carrying something.
When you say a home, we imagine there's a father, there's a mother. Who is the father, who is the mother here?
There is no father, but there is no and there is no mother. But what we do is, I grew up from I was raised by my grandmother. She is one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life. And my dream has always been, if I could be even half as generous as her, I would have achieved. But mainly what she would do, she would just collect people from, we had kids from all the neighborhood. Sometimes you would sleep on one mattress laid flat, and only the heads could sleep on there. The feet would be on the ground, but there was always room. The house always had about 30 to 40 people. And when I grew up, that's what I wanted to create. And that's why I called it a home, not a hostel.
I think you have succeeded.
It is a home.
But Brian, there is so much good in what you're saying. And for those who are watching, Brian is telling me here that he receives a lot of support locally from Ugandans. But wherever there is something good, there is also something bad lacking. And unfortunately, I am a bearer of some not very good news for you. At the Anti-Counterfeit Network, we have recognized that counterfeits are the single or biggest problem that humanity is facing. But unfortunately, they are also the most ignored problem that we are facing. And so whereas you are getting a lot of donations and a lot of support, a lot of the money you collect to go and buy food and so on is actually taken by counterfeiters. Because many of the fast-moving consumer goods around you that the small ones need are actually fake. So my question is, what is the encounter of this foundation with counterfeits? How is it a challenge to you meeting the good objectives that you have for the little ones that you are looking after? How are counterfeits? Do you know about that issue, and how are they affecting your work here?
Yeah, Fred, that has been a concern for a long time, because you're really worried. Continuously, we're worried what we're buying. And being, for example, an organization,
where do you get the food from?
We get food from two places. One is when we buy food from a recognized seller in Chikubo, in the marketplace, Chikubo. But we don't always buy
Chikubo,
food.
now I'll tell you. Chikubo is the center of a lot of counterfeits. There are so many products in there, especially the imported ones, the manufactured ones, that actually are expired. But what the vendors do is they scrub off the expiry date and put a new expiry date on it. You have a lot of the toothpaste there, you have a lot of the curry powders there. They are actually counterfeit. So I think you might need to change where you're buying your stuff.
So where would you advise someone to buy groceries from?
Well, it is very difficult because there isn't, for most brands, they will not tell you where to buy the genuine from. And this is why we are pushing them to say, first of all, tell us how to differentiate between the genuine and the fake, and then tell us where to buy. And I think we're making some progress there. But there are some ethical traders. I think you really need to do homework to see if the person is probably getting from the proper distributor. If you're buying the curry powders, is it from a proper distributor? or is somebody getting from some dingy place somewhere? But the concern here is that if you are procuring home care products, home use, or you're procuring food, this is a home caring for children who already have cancer and are receiving cancer treatment. The home should not be turned into a place actually to harm the children. It can be a very serious issue.
And Fred, what you're talking about makes a lot of sense, because as we are locally supported, there are so many people that keep walking through our doors where we actually don't have any control over what they bring in. You know, they are giving back. They are giving back from a good heart and from what they have. But the challenge is, it's pretty hard to figure out what is fake and what is real. Because we do need it, you know, we do need the products they bring in. And that has been a challenge, because some of the things that we've ended up receiving, we have also been turned into a dumping site, where people that are getting rid of all their junk in their house, things that are about to expire,
they come and throw.
They come and dump right here. And I think we need to also revise what charity is all about. Charity is not you giving away what you do not need, what is useless to you, what is junk to you, but charity should be you giving of the very best that you can give. So if you're going out to give to a charity, you need to
Give
do
genuine.
homework.
Give
where you're
genuine,
buying.
yes.
Yes, because that is going to be consumed by people. And then
Who
the
are
other
already
challenge-
vulnerable.
Yes. And then the other challenge is, we Ugandans, and this is still going to be a battle. We Ugandans want to buy cheap. A lot of Ugandans want to buy cheap. So the sellers want to make a massive profit, so they don't really care whether it is junk or what they're selling is expired. As long as they can change the dates, they don't really mind. So they want to make a profit. The Ugandans, we want to buy cheap. So that has always been the challenge when it comes to counterfeits. That because we want to buy cheap, even if they put the original thing right there, we'll always look for a much cheaper option. Which then, because of lack of education, cheap is not always safe. So
You've said you have from 0 to 15, the age bracket. So you must have had babies here. How have you dealt with the issue of the baby formula, the milk? Where do you procure from?
baby formula is one
Because
of the
it's
hardest.
a lot of it is fake.
That is, yes, that is one of the hardest. And I recently needed to buy baby formula for my baby, but I can't buy it in Uganda. I have to order it from UK to get
Wow.
it in. So that's how bad it is. But the other option is for the families right here, we can have access to fresh cow milk.
Here you have access to fresh
Yes.
cow
So we
milk.
have someone who donates milk from their farm, and that is very, very helpful, because you could never get it right with formula. First of all, it was too expensive, but also to get it right, it was too risky.
Yeah, but also, Brian, the fresh milk may not actually be fresh. If a cow that is milked has been fed on food that has aflatoxins from the grain, or if the cow that is milked was sprayed with an acaricide that is toxic, or it was given antibiotics, and there's some residues which can go in the milk. All those things affect the quality of the milk. So just because the milk is coming from a cow doesn't mean it's actually genuine.
So Fred, you are right when you started the conversation. You said you are a bearer of bad news. Yes, you are. Because I'm wondering now, where does it start and where does it end? Because it seems like this is so massive. The problem
It is.
is so huge.
It is.
So how do you even deal with it? Because I think
I think one
government
of the
should be
first,
involved.
yes, government should be
Yeah.
involved, but we have this song of government at Tuyambe help us all the time. So what we are doing is to contribute, to participate at individual level by fighting this menace through awareness, because a lot of the people who are actually engaging in the counterfeit trade do not know that it's a bad thing. Some people think they are just surviving and being creative, not knowing that you make money selling counterfeit milk. You will still need to have genuine syrup, and they will also fake you and kill you. So it's a big issue. Now, we need to have an understanding here that you are actually looking after children, and I saw some children around here. How I wish that maybe we had one of the children and the caregivers to come on set now, so that whoever is watching is able to see that, oh, this is actually. Do you have any people around, or they have gone to Cancer Institute?
No, we do have quite a number of people around still
as we speak now.
Yes.
Can you ask any?
Yeah, we can get one of them in. Yeah.
Okay, so right now we are at Bless a Child Foundation. If you've just joined us, Bless a Child Foundation is a home away from home. They provide support to those receiving cancer treatment at the Uganda Cancer Institute. They provide a home because the nature of treatment for cancer is that it must be done regularly, frequently, and many people cannot afford. So we are here with the Executive Director, Brian, and we have been joined by a lady here,
Mama Muhumuza.
Mama Muhumuza,
Yes.
I'm told. Mama Muhumuza is one of those parents or mothers who have a child. I can see the young man is sleeping. That child is a cancer victim. I'm told he's just had surgery. But this is one of the 50 children that you have in this home. Mama Muhumuza, English, Luganda? Luganda. Mama Muhumuza, oli ku TV, tuzze wano okubakyalira. Abantu abakulaba baagala okumanya gwani, ovaawa, wajja otya wano, olina buzibu ki?
Obuzibu bwandeeta.
Yogerako waggulu.
Obuzibu bwandeeta mwana nga mulwadde.
Omwana wo mulwadde. Yono omwana?
Yono.
Yani erinnya?
Muhumuza Andrew.
Muhumuza Andrew.
Yes.
Ovaawa?
Babundi Bujjo.
Bundi Bujjo. Wajja ddi e Kampala okugenda Cancer Institute?
Najja kw'omukaaga omwaka guwedde.
Omwezi gw'omukaaga? Okay, n'ogenda Cancer Institute. Kati wategeera otya mwami Brian ono?
Najja mu ddwaliro nemala treatment ne bambuuza owaffe ningamba Bundi Bujjo. Ne bangamba Bundi Bujjo wala n'omwana nga mulwadde. Transport ebeera sente nyingi. Ne bangamba kati ojja kugenda mu hostel Makerere.
Abasawo ku Cancer Institute bwe bakulagirira?
Abasawo bamalago. Ne bansindika wano nanyakiira.
Wajja wano ng'omwana ali mu mbeera ki?
Yali mpolampola naye olubuto gwali lukyali lunene.
Olubuto lwali luzimbye? So wategeerera wano nti alina kansa?
Nategeerera wano mulago nga nvudde Fort bansindise mulago.
Okay. Kati obeera wano oba oddayo e Bundi Bujjo n'okomawo?
Nedda kuva nga nja wano sigendanga Bundi Bujjo.
So omaze emyezi nga 10 kati?
Kati maze 10 ngenda kuweza 11.
Myezi 10. Wano wali watya abakuwaaki embeera eri etya wano?
Embeera mingi.
Mufuna ki wano? Ofuna buyambi ki?
Batusuza, ne batuweereza emmere. Buli kimu batuwa.
Tebabasasuza rwenti?
Nedda. Twakusaba na 10.
Babawa emmere ya bwereere? Engoye?
Nazo batuwa.
Transport?
Waliwo emmotoka etutwala n'etuza.
Ne airtime ndowooza babawa?
Nayo batuwa.
Bannange Brian, ngaba omuntu ng'ono wali omulabyeko wa?
Nedda.
naye kati programu eno ffe tulwanyisa bikyupuli feeke. Ebikyupuli wali obiwuliddeko, ebintu ebiri feeke, n'ogenda okugula ekizigo ne kikwokya, eddagala ly'omwana nga liri feeke. Wali obirabyeko? Wabirabako? Okay. Kakati, Mr. Brian, you are basically a savior. How does this make you feel?
I don't feel special. I just feel that I'm playing my part in the bigger picture. Because, you know, people that do charity and people that do good should not really be that celebrated. They are celebrated because we are living in a broken world. Because this is what we ought to be doing, each and every one of us. And if you go back to our old cultures, in the old communities, in our villages, it was a community that comes together. Communal. Like, it was so hard to find someone in a village who doesn't have food, you know, because it was all shared. But right now where we are, when everybody's being so selfish and holding back, and that is the reason why some people that are doing good are really, really looked at as wow. But yet that is our work. All of us have something we can do. All of us.
I think for those who are looking for role models, for those who are looking for people to look up to, I think you have right here Brian Walusimbi. I'll still call you a young man, no offense. For really standing into the gap, for standing in the space here. Mama Muhumuza here, a lady from Bundibujo, for those who don't know Uganda, has just confirmed that she came with a very sick child. The stomach was up there, and after the first course of treatment, she was asked by the doctors at the Cancer Institute, where are you going back home? And she said Bundibujo. Bundibujo is probably 300, 400 kilometers from the Cancer Institute. And she was directed here. She has confirmed to us that she is given all the support that you can get in a home, maybe even better than a home. So this really is good testimony to what we need to be giving to our country. Most of us, or many of you out there, will be throwing barbs and demanding. You don't need to wait for the government. You have power within yourself to make a difference. It is very, very difficult, Brian, to have the kind of encounters that you get here with the sick children. There are people who even fear to go to hospitals. The sight of somebody with the swelling and is not easy. How easy or difficult has it been for you and your family and your spouse and your children to know that daddy or my husband is actually spending all their time looking after these kind of people? How difficult is it to handle? Because there are people out there who also would be affected by the stigma. Some of this is not easy to look at and live with on a daily basis. What can you say to them?
It is hard. It's not easy to keep going, especially when sometimes the results end up being negative. We have lost a lot of children. So many children pass away. And you can never get used to it because you build a relationship over time with the children. They become a part of your life. You become a part of their lives. You are happy when they're happy. You're down when they're down. But to lose them, you can never get used to that. And so it always takes a part of you. It always takes energy to rise up again.
So this,
and keep
you
growing.
lose a child. This child is like a family member.
This child is like a family member because they are part of us. Every single day we are together. In this fight we are together. We walk together. we don't just say a parent come and leave, but we are part of your journey as you're going through this fight.
For those, we have Mama Muwema here who at least is having a child on the road to recovery. Do you have cases of parents or who have lost their children who have been here in your care? Do you have anybody around, for example, who we could talk to?
Yes, we have had parents that have lost kids, but this has been a good visit because you came in at a time where one of the parents has just come back.
Wow.
Yeah, and she lost her child about a month ago, but she came back through the city and decided, oh, I need to go to Blessed.
She's around.
She's around. So
okay. Why don't we, Mama?
I think
can we ask Mama Muwema webale nnyo oyinza okudda wano otule wano twogereko ne mama omulala. Those just joining us, we are at Bless a Child Foundation, and right now we are interacting with mothers who are the biggest caregivers for children. I think we fathers are indebted to the mothers, to our wives, who are always there for their children. We need to do better. I think, Brian, that's a big challenge for us. But we now have a parent, a mother, who unfortunately has just lost a child. I don't know what her name is. Twogere Luganda? Okay. Njagala kumanya amannya go gwani? Yongeza ku ddoboozi. Namuyingo Madrin. Namuyingo Madrin. Wano owa Mwami Brian Walusimbi. Obadde omaze ebbanga ng'obeera wano. Wajja ddi? Kiki ekyakuleeta? Yongerako eddoboozi.
Twatandika 2017 ng'omwana obadde batandika omululu.
Omwana, walina omwana wano? Wali ovaawa?
Kyankwanzi district.
Kyankwanzi. So wava Kyankwanzi 2017 n'ogenda ku Cancer Institute. Omwana yali alwadde ki?
Yali alwadde kansa.
Yali alwadde kansa waki? Ow'omusaayi. Oh,
that's leukemia.
Leukemia, blood cancer.
Yes.
Okay. So we watuuka ku Cancer Institute, kiki ekyaddirira? Ojja otya ate okujja wano?
Abasawo batusindika okujja eno.
Abasawo bakusindika? Wali tosobola kuddayo Kyankwanzi?
Kubanga obutuuka mu ddwaliro doozi ebeera mpanvu nga tusobola kuviirako nga ojja eno. Kati oba olina okugenda buli lunaku.
Buli lunaku? Transport okuva Kyankwanzi okutuuka ku Cancer Institute sente mmeka buli lunaku?
Buli lunaku? Kati oba luli nga tebanateekawo bya covid bali twetuleetera 2.
Emitwalo 2? So kwolwo wajja ng'olinamu emitwalo 2 nga tosobola kuddayo?
Namuleeta omwana tali bulungi nga balina tuwa kitanda.
Okay. So kati watuuka wano wajjawo ddi?
Ali 2017.
Mwezi ki? Mu December. So n'obeera ano paka ddi?
Nafuddeyo era mu guno omwaka kuba omwana yafudde nga mu Gwokubiri nga 17.
Juzi. Kyonga kitalo nnyo. Tukusaasidde naye okoze bulungi okuba nti yadde waviibwako omwana era ozze n'okebera ku bantu bo, kuba ano kumpi amaka gano naawe oli mwana oli muzadde mu maka guno. Ofiiringa otya okuba nti okomyewo okulaba ku bantu bo b'obadde obeera nabo wano?
Kinsanyusa okuba nga nange njja nembalaba kuba ebizibu tuyitamu tebiba byangu.
Wano engeri gye baali babayisaamu yali etya?
Yali nnungi.
Babayambanga batya?
Tuwa ebyokulya, okwambala n'okututwala mu ddwaliro.
Transport? oluusi wamulwala n'eddagala babawa. Kati woba okubira abannayuganda abakulaba omulanga mulanga kigwobakubira ekisooka ku bulwadde bwa kansa, ekyokubiri n'okubeera n'omutima okwagalana. Kiki kyobagamba? Kuba kati ennaku zino owulira oli yasse munne lwa ssente, oli yamunyazeeko ettaka. Mulanga kigwa okubira abannayuganda.
Ekimbadde mbagamba
Yongerako ku ddoboozi.
kale abaana abo baba balwadde baba mu mbeera nnungi. Abazadde abasinga abamu batulugunya abaana abo nga balwadde, tamufaako, bamuteekako omwana eddagala ne limuyisa obubi, oli n'aboggolera omwana. Bambi nabo tubasaasire, si kwagala.
Abazadde pressure eba bayitiriddeko.
Simanyi naye nga waliwo ababikola.
Yo gavumenti ogigamba ki ekole etya, etuddukiridde etya?
Era yasaanye okuyamba abo abaana kuba abamu abazadde bajja nga tebalina ssente ate mulago oluusi eddagala nga liba lya bbeeyi. Kyensaba basobole okuyambako ku bantu kigambo ky'eddagala.
Kakati ate abo bowulira nti ate bacupula eddagala lyemuteeka okukozesa okubawonya, ate balicupula, bo bagambako ki?
Zibadde ssaba alituyambye kubanga naffe obulamu tukola kitugwagala n'obw'abaana tubwagala. Batuyambe eddagala eryo balijjewo.
Abo abantu si batemu?
Era batemu.
Batemu. Weebale nnyo okwogerako naffe. Amannya twagafunye? Yani erinnya?
Namiyingo
Madrin. So we have just been talking to a mother here, a young lady who has been at this home. She came from Nakasongola, Chankwanzi district. She went to the Cancer Institute, was admitted, but she could not afford to continue commuting from Chankwanzi to the institute, and therefore Brian again came in to save the day. She has been here with the son or daughter. A daughter. Unfortunately, the daughter lost the battle to cancer, but because this is a home setting, this is a place that gives hope to many of these vulnerable people in our society who cannot afford. She has come back to pay a courtesy call, which is really a very, very good thing. So Brian, I don't think that we at the Anti-Counterfeit Network have ever had sufficient preparation for this kind of show or this kind of visit. It's very, 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 very humbling, and we can only say more power to Brian. I hope you have a team. You are not alone.
Yes, we have an amazing team, about 23 staff, and so many volunteers that help us do what we do. Yeah.
Wow. We as the Anti-Counterfeit Network, Brian, would like to stand up and be counted. We are in this together, so please accept our small contribution to your cause of 2 million shillings, which we shall pass over to you as soon as we have your bank details. Really, for you who is out there watching this, not only do we have a problem of counterfeits that are making sure that our life becomes even harder, but we have at least some light at the end of the tunnel. We actually have some good people in this country who are doing what many people would wait for the government to do. These people like Brian here really deserve to be a big pat on the back. They deserve our support. We have shot the way. We shall give the support. But our appeal as well is to you, whoever is out there, You have gotten the contacts of the foundation, Bless a Child Foundation. You can see on the screen their contacts. They have 4 homes. They are looking after so many people out there. They keep their arms open, their doors open, to make sure that people actually have a future, the young generation, 0 to 15 years. This is really commendable. And I think we shall forge a closer partnership with you, because we realize that you actually need protection against counterfeits, because you're doing good work here, but counterfeits can actually upset and derail whatever it is that you are doing. Our appeal, please, if you are donating for charity and you're giving goods or products, or even you're giving money, please, first and foremost, if you're donating, the people who are here might be vulnerable, they might be poor, but they don't need fake things. They are human beings. They are sick already. Please don't poison them. Don't make them sick by just throwing counterfeit stuff to them. And to Brian and the team, please, if you receive a donation, if you receive funding, do not throw the money to the counterfeiters. Please take care to ensure that only the genuine product is procured, only the genuine food, the eggs, the milk, the Royco is given to these people. Because I think it is a good thing to get the vulnerable, put them in a shelter like this, but it is a bigger crime for them to be harmed while they are under your care here, and the care of those who are the many who support the foundation. So we would like to end this episode here. This has been a special episode. You need really to come and see what Brian and the team are doing here at Bless a Child Foundation. We have been shooting on site at plot 140 Sir Apollo Kagwa Road. This home is in Makerere Chikoni. Brian tells us that there are a lot of walk-ins, there are garages, washing bays. Please come and pay them a visit. Come celebrate your birthday. If you have that extra thing or extra shilling, come and help here. I think this is the kind of country we want. This is the kind of future we want as Africans, as human beings. So until then, Brian, I will allow you in half a second or 10 seconds to say your parting words before we close.
Great. Thank you, Fred. And thank you so much for being a part of the fight. And to all of us that are watching, the work begins with you. It's you to stand in the gap. It's you to say no to fake and counterfeit products. So let us work together to make this country a much better place, not only for us, but also for our children and the future generation. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, so until then, this has been the League of the Genuine episode, hosting Brian Walusimbi, Executive Director of Bless a Child Foundation. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.